Hey Maker's Gonna Learn, thank you so much for tuning in here to our YouTube channel today. My name is Becca Oaks and I'm a craft producer here at Maker's Gonna Learn. But today we're not gonna craft. We're gonna talk about some crafting though. One of our most commonly asked questions here at Maker's Gonna Learn is, what machine should I buy? We have all of these people who are just starting into the craft world, and there are so many machines that are available, so many different options for you all that it can be very overwhelming. And so we are going to break that down for you today just with Cricut machines. Now there are other brands available too, and that's another video another day. But these are specifically Cricut machines. We're going to break them down because there's no simple straight shot one word answer for the best machine. There are other things to consider when trying to decide what machine is best for you. So we're going to break that down in the following slideshow for you guys and hopefully get those questions answered for you all. So like I said earlier, which Cricut machine is best? Which is best for me? Which one should I purchase? Is one of the most asked questions that we get here at Maker's Gonna Learn. So I definitely wanted to address this with you guys, kind of break it down for you. We have used all of these machines. We are familiar with all of them. So we are a great resource for you guys. You guys came to a good place to look for these answers. You are about to make a little investment in a machine, and so you definitely want to pick one that is best for you and that is going to give you the results that you need, and is going to aid you the best in your Cricut adventures with all of your projects. So I'm excited to get to do this with you. Before we talk specs, I do want to talk about price of machines. So over here on the left, we have our Cricut Maker. And as you can see, the MSRP on the Cricut Maker is $399.99. In the middle, kind of up toward the top, you see we have our Cricut Joy. MSRP on the Cricut Joy is $179.99. And then to the right, our little yellow Air 2 MSRP is $249.99. Now guys, these are MSRP. Periodically, you can find each of these machines marked down, or you can purchase them using a discount or a coupon code. The prices here on this are simply the MSRP evaluations that Cricut has assigned to each machine. So obviously, I want to give all of them a fair shot with price. While this is MSRP, you can definitely find them cheaper than this sometimes. So I wanted to give that little disclaimer. So as you can see, there is, a Cricut there in everybody's budget. But let's break it down and figure out what components of each of these might be useful to you. We are going to start with our Joy, our cute little Joy. I love this machine. It's adorable. As you can see, it kind of looks like decor. It's just so stinking cute. So the Cricut Joy measures 8 by 4 by 4, and it weighs in right under 4 pounds, which makes the Cricut Joy the smallest and lightest machine in their fleet of machines. Because of that, it's perfect for smaller craft spaces. It's easily stored, and it also transports very easily. The Joy is considered by Cricut to be an excellent companion machine for its full-size cutting machines. In other words, they think that you should not just have the Joy, you should have a larger machine as well. The Joy will draw and cut any shape and will also write in a variety of different styles. Cricut Joy cuts 50 or more materials, including your basic most used items like iron-on or HTV, regular vinyl, cardstock, paper, and then they have smart materials, which are rolls of Cricut vinyl and HTV that feed into the Joy and do not require the use of a mat. So these smart materials were sort of innovative with the Cricut Joy. They launched them with it. They aren't for use in other machines. So that was really neat. Cricut Joy has two tools. One is for cutting and one is for writing. Cricut Joy is limited to 5.5 inch cut widths with those smart materials, or if you're using the mat, then the cut width is 4.5 inches. So you can't do any wider than 4.5 inches if you're using the mat. It will cut individual shapes up to 4 feet though. Of course, using the smart materials, it will cut up to 4 feet and will also make repeating cuts up to 20 feet long. Again, that's using the smart materials. So you have to buy those specific materials through Cricut. Currently there aren't any other manufacturers of smart materials other than Cricut. So you do have those limitations if you want those longer cuts. Like I said, I mentioned it. Cricut Joy mats are available for those wishing to use materials that that's not a Cricut Smart material. The mat sizes that are available for Cricut Joy are 4.5 by 6.5, and then there's one that's 4.5 by 12 inches. The Joy has Bluetooth wireless technology compatible with Cricut's Design Space software for use with iOS, Android, Windows, and Mac devices. The Cricut Joy is very easy to set up and use and is excellent for personalizing small projects and creating custom decals, labels, cards, banners, and other small die-cut projects. The Cricut Joy would be a great addition for crafters who offer customizable options at like craft shows or craft fairs that they attend and sell their projects at. It's also good for a crafter who wants to be able to make cards or labels at your desk while you're at work, so you could transport it there or just leave it at your desk if you are somebody who makes those things quite frequently. It's great for crafters who like to DIY on vacation or while camping if you're like me. Along with Cricut, we here at MGL agree that the Cricut Joy is not a great machine to have as your only or your first die cut machine. While it offers a ton of cutting options, the size limitation for projects is enough to make us second guess this machine as your primary die cut machine. We think this adorable and powerful little machine is a perfect companion machine and is a great addition to the craft room, but definitely not a necessity. So there is that distinction. Do you need it or do you want it? We personally wanted it, so we bought one. We love it. So moving along to our Explore Air 2. So guys, if you'll remember, the MSRP on the Joy was $179.99, and you really can't find that much cheaper than that right now because it is a newer launch. So the Air 2, you can, depending on what sales you happen to catch, you can generally spend $20 to $75 more than you would on a Joy and buy the Air 2. And you get a ton of more options than you do with the Joy. So that's something to consider for sure. The Explore Air 2, guys, is a solid workhorse of a machine. It's available in a beautiful variety of colors, so that's fun for some people. Some people like to color code their craft rooms and have everything the same color, so that's fun. You have a lot of colors to choose from. The Air 2 dimensions are 23 by 7 by 6, and it weighs approximately 21 pounds. The Air 2 is compatible with Cricut cartridges. I don't know if you can see or not, but over to the left, like underneath where those tools are, there's a little flap, and that's where your cartridges would go. It has 4 tool options, which include fine point blade and deep cut blades for cutting, and then a Cricut pen option and a Cricut stylus option for scoring. The Air 2 is capable of cutting over 100 materials with max material dimensions of 12 by 24. Materials that the Air 2 can cut are everything from cardstock, vinyl, and iron-on to specialty materials like glitter paper, cork, thin felt, and bonded fabrics. You can make cards, custom t-shirts, print and cut projects, and all sorts of home decor. Honestly, what you can make with the Air 2 is very broad. You can make lots of things with it. The Air 2 is Bluetooth and USB compatible. And again, it works seamlessly on any iOS, Android, Windows, or Mac device that you can use Design Space on. So like I said, it is Bluetooth compatible. It is also USB compatible, and we prefer USB compatibility just because it's easier. It connects quicker for one. and it makes the cut process a little quicker because of that as well. Then we have the Maker. So guys, the MSRP on the Maker is $399.99, like I said earlier. The lowest price that you can normally find a Maker is around $350. Now, I know they did one sale here recently that was a lot cheaper than that, but $350 tends to be as low as we see it. The Cricut Maker is roughly 23 by 7 by 6 and is 24 pounds. Cricut considers the Maker to be their pro level machine. It cuts over 300 materials with max material dimensions of 12 by 24, so that's the same as Air 2. Cricut Maker gives you the freedom to make virtually any DIY project that you can imagine, from 3D art to home decor, print and cut projects, jewelry, iron-on, vinyl, paper projects, and so much more. It has the tools to cut hundreds of materials quickly and accurately from the most delicate paper, so like crepe paper and things like that, and fabric, to the tough stuff like thick felt, mat board, leather, and basswood. The Maker has 12 cutting or writing tool options. Like the Air 2, the Maker is made for use with the fine point blade, deep cut blade, Cricut pins, and scoring stylus. But in addition, now guys, this is pretty impressive. In addition, there were new tools designed to specifically work with the Cricut Maker. They put an adaptive tool system in the Maker, and with that adaptive tool system, they also developed some more tools to go with it, and that includes the rotary blade for cutting virtually any fabric without backer. So that's sort of a game changer. It's really nice. It has a knife blade for thicker materials up to 2.4 millimeters. So you can use really thick leather in here. You can use the different, softer woods you can cut. And let's see, it also has a single and double scoring wheel. It has a wavy blade, a perforation blade, a fine debossing tip, an engraving tip, which is really cool. You can make, custom jewelry and things like that with it. Like the Air 2, it is Bluetooth and USB compatible and works seamlessly again on any iOS, Android, Windows, or Mac device that you use with Design Space. So, which machine is right for you? That's a really good question. And to be honest, in my opinion, the answer to that is based entirely off of what kind of crafter you are. So ask yourself what types of projects you'll be making the most. When people ask us which machine is best for them, that's what we say first. What are you going to be crafting the most? What projects are you going to be making the most? If you're only interested in small decals and cards, like literally that's all you're going to do, the Joy is actually a really great machine. It's really quick. It's really easy to use. But like I said previously, in most cases, and with, our opinion, and we've talked to other crafters who have this opinion too, they agree, the Joy is not a necessity like the Air 2 or Maker is, but it's a super fun addition to the craft room, and it's just fun to work with. It's fun to have. If money is no option, why not do it, right? If you're most interested in making decals, iron-on projects like shirts and totes, home decor projects with vinyl, print and cut projects, paper, cardstock projects, some projects with bonded fabrics, I really love the Air 2. It is such a dependable, solid machine that we honestly really don't have any problems out of. We have several Makers and several Air 2s here at Maker's Gonna Learn. So we have a pretty decent idea of both machines, and we find ourselves having to calibrate our Air 2 machines far less often than we have to do our Makers. My personal overall opinion is that the Air 2 is a very reliable machine and it is a little less glitchy than our Makers that we use here at Maker's Gonna Learn. If you are a more diverse crafter, you find yourself doing all different sorts of projects and all different varieties of materials, the Maker is likely more suited for you. In my personal craft room at home, I have a Cricut Joy. I got it for Mother's Day. I love it. It's adorable. And I have a maker. So I do have the Cricut Maker because I make a very broad variety of projects. So I like all the options that I have with the makers. I like to use my maker and the rotary blade to cut out quilt patterns as well as projects with thick felts. I occasionally use the knife blade tool to make 3D wood projects too. I've personally never had any issues out of my maker at home, and I've really enjoyed it. But ultimately, take some time to think about what all you'll be creating with your machine. Search the internet for the best prices on machines and bundles, and let those be your most influential factors in determining which machines you'll be purchasing to accompany you in your crafting adventures. So hopefully that answered some questions for you guys. Hopefully you were able to make a more definitive plan for the machine that you're going to purchase. Once you purchase your machine, the next step is simply to become a Maker's Gonna Learn member. Obviously, we would love to have you join our community of like-minded DIY crafters, die cut crafters. Join our website, makersgonnalearn.com, and have access to over 4,000 cut files, almost 400 fonts. And it just makes crafting a whole lot easier to have those resources available to you, and also have the resource of the amazing community that we have here at Makers Gonna Learn. Anyway, if you have any more questions about this breakdown or any specific questions about any of the machines, we would love to answer those for you. Leave a comment down in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe to Makers Gonna Learn here on YouTube if you aren't already. Thanks so much. Come see us another day.